What was the previous? What was the overall reoffending?
Well, look, when I look at, as I said, violent crime, when I look
what
at
was the overall reoffending rate?
I think from memory it was about 15% is what Tama Potaka talked about in your debate last week.
15% reoffending?
Not reoffending.
So let's flip that around.
Yep.
85 to 87% of people reoffended.
Yeah, and what I'd say...
Within 2 years of graduating, 85 to 87%. Would you consider...
And within 12 months, Jack, there were 50 to 65% that didn't commit violent offending, which is important.
Right.
Didn't affect theft or burglary.
But 85 to 87% of reoffending within 2 years. Would you consider that an offending... would you consider that successful?
I would take that today, given the situation. We've got a government doing absolutely nothing in this space. But what I'd say to you is we can improve on that. We can improve a lot on that.
Okay, let me tell you why. On that. Have you read the analysis of that?
Yes, I have, and I spoke to Peter Gluckman also this week as well.
I'll be interested in his thoughts, because I've got a quote from him that I'm sure you're expecting me to read. So, in June 2016, a report to Minister Antolli on the government's military-style activity camps, as they called them at the time, page 1.4, quote, "In New Zealand, we offer a range of supervision programs for high-end young people, including supervision with residence and supervision with activity orders. These programs generally show better results in reducing offending than the military program and at lower cost."
Yeah, so let me give you some stories of what's changed since then, since 2008. One is we're talking about having a longer program. We're talking about making it more intensive with more intensive rehabilitation support in those programs. The other thing is we've based a lot of this off the LSV program, which actually has an 80% success rate of not reoffending. It's a much shorter duration program for slightly older offenders or people who actually want to volunteer to get into that program. And the same principles are what we're applying here. So look, you can criticise it, and everyone in political parties want to have a go at it, and I get it. But the bottom line is, I'm not prepared to go right off a whole generation of young people. 60% aren't going to school.
The point is it didn't
90% of the Ram Raiders are actually not at school. There's massive growth in young people joining gangs. I'm not
the point is, but you've talked about the value of evidence, right? Yeah. The point is, okay, so 2013 Ministry Social Development report on the same camps found 60% of the participants were Māori, almost 80% were Māori or Pacifica. They weren't boot camps, they were brown camps. Would yours be the same?
I want to make powerful, critical circuit breaker interventions in these young people's lives.
Would yours be the same?
Our program, as I said to you, is different. We're going to make it longer. We're going to have community organisations working with young people around their addiction issues, around their schooling issues.
And would we expect that 60% of the participants would be Māori?
I'm not sure. That's not the issue. The issue is about serious youth offenders and making sure we have a tool set that's available to help those young people change the course of their lives.
2015 report on the camps includes this line: "There is concern that some young people who've attended are being escalated up the sentencing tariff scale in order to access the program." Are you happy with